Fine highlights from Sky for the Everton game, but we'll talk about that. Man City finally start to get it moving, and also Forest are absolutely amazing. This is where you see it. Long-Haired Yeti's Cave, episode 3. And a massive welcome to everybody for Long-Haired Yeti's Cave episode 3, View from the Cave, where I basically tell it like it is, as I always do anyway, about all the games from the weekend. We've got a lot of games to go through, so I'm going to put the games on the top, and hopefully you can see this. And then I am going to run through the games. Right, in no particular order, I'm going to start with Newcastle Arsenal. Unfortunately, cannot see the chat at the moment because my tablet is being a bell end again, but I will sort that out. The tablet, not my bell end. We'll not be doing that on stream. Right. Anyway, moving on. So Newcastle Arsenal, like I say, it's in no particular order. Arsenal, you looked at that midfield right from the start, and you knew that it was going to be a struggle. It was very haphazard, or should I say app averts? I think that probably works better than it app averts. And basically starts off not the best game. It was very tense at the start. You could tell Newcastle and Arsenal was very tense, making some crazy passes, and nothing was really coming off or anything like that. And then Newcastle started to get into the game a bit more. Havertz with an absolute evil tackle, to be honest. Could have broke the guy's leg, to be fair. Ends up staying on the pitch. How that happens, I don't know. But then he does another tackle later on and still ends up staying on the pitch. So I suppose it was karma for Kovacic against Man City, I suppose. I don't know. That's pretty much the only way you can kind of look at it. But yeah, and also Guimaraes really probably should have gone as well. It's not a very hard elbow to the head, but it's an elbow to the head. And that's all that counts, really, isn't it? Big up to everybody in the chat, although I can't see it at the moment, but big up to you. And also, and then Newcastle get a goal, which, is it a goal? Is it not a goal? Me and Mama was talking about this the other day because people are saying that Newcastle are cheats. It's not Newcastle. It's they make the decisions. It's not Newcastle that makes the decisions. So and nobody's going to actually turn round and say, "Oh, ref, no, we can't. We're not taking that, ref. We're not. We're definitely not taking that. That's not right." You know what I mean? No team on the planet's going to do that. So you can't be blaming Newcastle. So Newcastle get a nice 1-0 win. And I also like to ask as well is if the ball was out or the ball wasn't out, why did all the Arsenal fans all the Arsenal players fall to sleep? You play to the whistle at the end of the day. So for that reason, really, I think you got what you deserved. So then it's 1-0. Basically, all Arteta can do is say, "Oh, it's all fault of the VAR and we got robbed and all this, that, and the other." Have a bit of respect for yourself. I mean, I know you don't really deserve that much respect, to be fair, but, at least you should have some for yourself, I would have thought. Whereas you could have come out. I mean, what did you do? Try and put two defenders on when you're, when you're losing a game. I mean, come on, man. Anyway, moving on from that. So that's a first loss for Arsenal. And again, the Newcastle United fans was absolutely amazing, as they always are. Moving on to Sheffield United and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Again, I watched the highlights. Good game. Wolves had quite a lot of chances, to be honest, but just couldn't finish. So all of a sudden, Sheffield United come along. Brilliant counter attack from Archer. Brilliant shot in the top corner. Absolute quality. Wolves then managed to pull one back. I can't remember who it is now. I forgot. But Wang gets in and tries to have a shot, and it's the worst shot you've ever seen in your life. I mean, he even he even outdid Havertz. I mean, man, come on. And then basically, Sheffield United get what I would say is a really soft penalty at the end to win it 2-1, but they don't care. Nobody cares. So at the end of the day, they need the points. So fair play to them, man. Fair play to them. They get the first 3 points. And well done to the Blades. Then we're on to Manchester City and Bournemouth. Well, I mean, the writing was on the wall here from the start. I mean, Manchester City were just probing and probing. Bournemouth was trying to keep shutting them down and closing the passing lanes. And it was just a matter of time, really. And Doku was just on a different planet. Best I've seen him yet, to be fair. And as soon as he scored the one, it just became an avalanche, and Man City had it all. And then Bournemouth managed to score one. I didn't see the Bournemouth goal, I'll be honest. I weren't watching at that point because you could see it was just going to be a whitewash, so I didn't really bother watching after that. So Man City are now on the trail again, so it'd be interesting to see where they go from here. Now, the Everton-Brighton one is a funny one because I tried to watch the highlights, and basically the camera is zoomed in that close. You can't see anything. You can't actually see anything, so I don't know who's involved in that. All you can see is the back of people's heads. I mean, it's the most funniest highlights I've ever seen, and it's still there as well. Nobody's like used it, so they've got great quality control at Sky, as you can see. Uh, but Everton, all I can tell you is Mikalenko scored because I heard it, I didn't see it. And then Young got an own goal for Brighton. And Brighton don't travel that well, which is good because they're coming to the City Ground after our next game. After we play West Ham this Sunday, they're coming to the City Ground, so it's nice to know that they don't travel very well. So I'll be looking forward to that one without a doubt. And then on to Burnley Crystal Palace. Burnley had most of this game. If you watch the highlights, Burnley's all on the highlights all the time. The only trouble with Burnley is they can't finish, and they're defending. They make terrible mistakes, and that's why I think Arsenal will have them at the weekend because you can't make defensive mistakes against Arsenal. You're always going to pay for it, unless Havertz has got the ball, of course. Right, let's stop. Let's not have it Havertz bashing stream. Let's stop that. And so basically, they make a defensive mistake. Ayew gets the ball, crosses it in, and it's put in on the far post by, I'm not quite sure who it was. I've completely forgot what his name was. But yeah, so and then Crystal Palace get one later on, so make it 2-0. So I think Burnley could really have done more, but it is what it is. It's how it goes, isn't it, when you're in that kind of situation. On to Brentford against West Ham. What a game. I wish I'd have watched this one, actually. I really do wish I'd have watched this one. Starts off with a beautiful goal from Mopai. Gets his first goal for Brentford. So he's opened his account since he's come back. Nice header. Nice header. Can't fault it, to be honest. Nicely placed. And then West Ham, ball over the top, crosses the ball to Kudos, and what a volley. What a volley into the top corner. He's a quality addition, he is. He is an absolute quality addition. I think Arsenal should really have got into that one, to be quite honest with you. But, they didn't, and that's it. But he looks good. I mean, I'm worried about him on Sunday, I'll be honest. He looks good. He looks on it. He looks really, really up for it. Second goal to West Ham, basically across. Kudos heads it onto the bar, to the post. Bands off the post, straight to Bowen, and Bowen just puts in a easy tap in to make it 2-1. Then Brentford really come alive, and Burmo could have had an hat trick, to be fair. One of his shots, oh my days, it could have been a worldie, to be fair. It's only just past the post as well. He was really on it. He definitely could have had a hat trick in that game. And then basically an own goal from Everton from a cross. The Brentford player goes for the ball, but the defender gets it and puts it into his own net. And so, that makes it 2-2. And then right at the end, I don't know who the guy was, to be honest with you. But Brentford defend Collins, that's who it was, who they got from Wolves. Rises up higher than everybody else and heads the ball in for a 3-2 win. But what a game! It was end to end, as far as I know. Then we go down the line because it was Fulham against Manchester United. Now, if anybody watched this, I thought Fulham should have won it. To be fair, I mean they've got a lot to thank Anana for. To be fair, I mean I know the shots were straight at him, but you still got to do what you've got to do. But and then Man United get lucky at the end with a lovely goal from Bruno. I mean it's nice of him to turn up. To be honest, I mean he's been in the games for I don't know how long, and he's finally actually turned up and scored a cracking goal. To be fair, can't really argue with a goal that he scored, to be honest. And then we're on to Nottingham Forest beat Aston Villa at the City Ground, the beautiful, famous old City Ground. And the fans was going mental as they always do, making hell a lot of noise. And we just played the best game I've seen us play this season, the most complete game I've seen us play this season. Defense, midfield, forward line, it just fit. It just all fit, and it felt like things that we're trying to build was really going on the way on Sunday. It really did, and all of them, Mangala, one Awonyi was sort of holding the ball up and trying to make things happen and stuff like that. Never got his goal, but he was still a massive presence up front, which is exactly what he's supposed to be. We get a beautiful goal by Awonyi. Ball drilled across the floor, and it was superb, straight into the corner. And I went absolutely mental. It was absolutely beautiful, to be honest. In fact, did I miss it? No, I didn't miss that one. I think I missed the other one, so I was too busy nattering and talking. But yeah, so he scores that one. Mangala then gets a shot from outside the area. Emi Martinez probably a little bit too far off his line. Parries the ball up into the air. The ball goes behind him, and there's only one place it's going if it goes behind him, and that's straight into the net. So we get a nice 2-0, which we deserved as well. And I cannot find my stream. Oh, there it is. Right, now I've actually found the chat. So yeah, I mean Murillo, Ina's absolute quality. Niakate, everything they put into the box, every type of cross, we was the first ones to it. We defended to a man, and we was brilliant. The goalie, the new goalie, the Greek guy Dave, basically didn't really have a lot to do, but what he did do, he was absolutely phenomenal at. And basically, that's the way it went in that respect. Yeah, number 29. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I should have said number 29, not Havertz. That's well out of order. Big up, Drew Gunners, mate. How you doing, pal? Hope you're doing well, mate. Forest performance against Villa Stella should kick on from here. Yeah, 100%. We've got to, mate. We've got to. 29, he must not be named. Yeah, that's where he's going to be from now on. And you see, the thing is, I had the Havertz thing lined up, so I had to actually use his name in that respect. Can you imagine if Lee set something off with that 29 pundits start calling it? Yeah. Well, they should do, really. I mean, because he don't really offer a great deal more, does he? Man, that would be so funny and legendary. Top Gooners will be hunting Lee if their mum lets them out. That is, yeah, if they let them out the basement, the sticky bed sheets and all that. Yeah, because if they leave the box room, the mums wouldn't let the fuckers back in. I think he's safe. Yeah, probably right, man. How you doing, Meltor, mate? Are you all right? Yeah, he ignoring us? No, he ain't. I was just on a different screen and I couldn't actually see the damn tablet, man. Right, fresh air would be like hydrochloric acid to their skin, man. Yeah, it would. They never get out of anywhere, do they, really? Hot Fuzz, how you doing, matey? I'll send you the link in a second. And my G Fuzzy, the one with name also has no name. Yeah, no game. Yeah, absolutely. Number 29. Right, I'm going to sort out the link for Hot fools, and we'll carry on. But I mean, at the end of the day, um, we was good. To be fair, we was really good. So you've got to load it up when you're good. You got to say it when you're not good. You got to say it when you are good. It's only these little fans that cry about these kind of things. I mean, I don't know what's worse actually. I don't know. Is it worse not playing very well, or is it worse not playing very well but having fans that still say you was amazing? I mean, because that dude, that guy on Instagram talking about 29, yeah, saying his best game was against West Ham. He was really good against Newcastle, and this game he shined against Sevilla. Sevilla. I mean, what? 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 I mean, you know what? If I read too much of it, I'd have to slap my head that much. I'd end up in a fucking lunatic asylum. It's just mental, mate. I don't know how you deal with it, Cole, mate. I don't. I really don't. Right, where's me? Right, yeah. So Forest Villa, cracking game, brilliant game, lovely win for us. Hope it carries on this weekend, because if we can keep playing like that, then we're really into some solid stuff. And the thing is about Forest is all the lads are together. If you watch the videos and stuff like that, we've got a wicked sort of dressing room. We don't play rock, paper, scissors in training and all that kind of stuff. But and on to the piece de resistance, or however you say that. I'll say this only once. Tottenham beat Chelsea. I mean, I was doing a watch along with Wolf and Up Fuzz, and it was absolute quality. One of the best derby games I've seen on the telly for years. It reminded me of the games when I used to hear them on the radio, when they didn't really have all the football on TV all the time. And it kind of reminded me of that. Both teams, the only thing it missed really was Keenan Vieira. That was it. It was just absolute quality, man. Actually caught a fish today, not massive, but big enough to fry. Yeah, had to send that to Robbie, mate. Or he'll probably eat it by accident, taking it out the envelope. I try my best to ignore it. Yeah, I only see it if someone in the community mentions it. I have all these accounts blocked, muted. Yeah, I don't blame you, mate. I couldn't believe what I was reading the other day from that World is Arsenal. What the hell? Where has Havertz done anything? I don't know, mate. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Maybe my eyes aren't any good anymore. I don't know. Maybe I need some new eyes. Maybe I need some bigger eyes to fry. I don't know. I don't really know what that's all about, because I watch him and I don't see that much good. But anyway, Tottenham Spurs. Tottenham Spurs. Yeah, Tottenham v Spurs. Tottenham v Chelsea even. What a game. What a game. Brilliant game. Proper in each other's faces. Started off, Tottenham looked like they was definitely going to open the flood lamps. Flood, what do you call it? Floodgates even. Don't know what flood lamps are, but they seemed like they was going to open the floodgates. It was all over them. Scored the one goal. And it was looking a bit dicey for Chelsea, to be honest. I mean, there was absolutely all over them. Big up to you, Mama Flossie. Yeah, I was going to start at 7, but I was sat here getting bored, so I thought, sod it, I'll go now instead. So yeah, Tottenham score. So many goals like disallowed and stuff like that. Let me just get Mr. Fuzz in. Yeah, so many goals disallowed in the game. Two absolutely crazy tackles. Big up, Mr. Hot Fuzz. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Thanks for inviting me on.
No
Always a
worries,
pleasure.
man. No problemo.
How's everyone doing in chat? Good to see everybody. Mama Flossie, Carl Rossi. That rhymed a little bit. Drew Gunners. I'm doing well, mate. Doing well, Drew.
I
Doing
thought,
well.
I thought, uh, I thought it was Hot Fuzz. It's actually Eminem that's come into the stream, which is
Yeah, a bit
all
of a
good. And got
wordsmith
Carl
game there.
Rossi laughing. Oh
Lovely.
my days, Carl. Oh fuck's sake, Carl Rossi laughing at me saying flood lamps instead of floodgates. Anyway, here we go. I just popped on. I saw, yeah, he was online, so I jumped in the chat. Big up to you, man. Big up to you, Drew. Always, man. Big up to Mama. Big up to Carl as well. Big up to everybody in this chat, to be honest.
Hmm.
And big up to Hot Fuzz. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Man United Fulham game?
Can do, yeah. I mean, not not an awful lot to write home about. I mean, I think most people who watched it said, "Look, it's not. It wasn't a special performance. It wasn't anything really to sort of look at as like, oh, Man United, they've turned a corner. They've got something good going now. It's a fresh leaf. Fresh page turned, and pastures new. It was more like a team that I think looks like they tried to care a bit, but
Yeah,
weren't
yeah.
they weren't sort of turning it into like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 performances. It was just
Mm.
like a hard watch, grafting it out to just to score late in the day, and thankfully we did, because I felt like the Scott McTominay goal in that game should have stood
Mm.
in that in the first half. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, really unfortunate there, but I was just glad. I felt like it was a bit of justice being
Mm.
served in that sense. But
I thought Fulham should have beat you, to be honest. I thought there was the better side at times, and Onana was the man that came forward,
hmm,
and well, did his job like Roy Keane says. It's his
it's
job.
just his job. It's just his job.
That's his job, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Thank goodness for an honor. Turning or reminding people, giving people flashbacks of prime David De Gea. A goalkeeper
Yeah,
that
yeah.
can save the ball with his hands and ultimately keep us from conceding cheap goals and losing the game. So you know, goalkeepers potentially getting some points, important points across the line for United.
Yeah, and then Bruno turns up at the end, and it was a good goal, to be fair. I mean, it's
Mm,
about time. I mean, he should do more of that, to be fair.
mm. Well, I mean, he had to do it against Burnley away, didn't he? He had to get a
Mm.
wonder strike just to win the game, because God only knows who are going to try and do or try and win that game any other way. Yeah, Moments FC.
Yeah, exactly. Talk a little bit about our game as well. I mean, I don't know
Mm,
if you watched it, but it was class, mate. It was one of the best performances I've seen this weekend, to be fair.
mm,
Last weekend, I mean, not this weekend.
mm.
I'm a bit late doing this show, so you know,
Wow.
it was just class. It was just absolutely class. I mean, the only, like I said on the Jazz stream, the only little gripe I had really was pressing a bit quicker in the midfield. But then again, if you do that, then you could have left space open. Although they couldn't hit a car's backside with a banjo, to be honest with you. I mean, and the
Mm,
ones they did actually get on target was easily saved by Dave, the Greek guy.
mm,
So I can't fault it, mate. I was loving it,
mm.
loving every minute of it. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I said before the game that if Nottingham Forest beat Aston Villa, that's that's a massive result, because
Mm,
Unai Emery's sort of got a bit of a fear factor in Aston Villa, where teams look at Villa now and they're just like, oh, well, that yesteryears that would be an easier game, but
mm.
they've made them much more resolute, much tougher to beat, and they've
Yeah,
got a bit of pace, a bit of energy up top, a little bit of
yeah,
trickery as well, direct nature, so a couple of goal scorers up top, and they're more or less sweet. But yeah, I think the fact that they go to the City Ground and Nottingham Forest just turn it up to an
mm.
even higher setting, and best a team that I think probably were written down as favourites by probably most, if not everybody,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
to
yeah.
get
Big
a
time,
result
big
away.
time,
But
big time.
Nottingham Forest turned up, and got the job done. Did
Well,
the business.
I watched a vlog the other day of Aston Villa. I can't
Mm,
remember the guy's name now, otherwise I'd big him up. But because he was very centered,
mm,
At the start of the match, it was basically everybody asked was, "Well, we're the form team, so we're going to hammer these." And like Kenny Ken said the other day, don't
mm.
disrespect us at the City Ground, man. We're a
No,
different animal when that crowd gets behind us and stuff like that. So, we've got another 2 games coming at the City Ground, so I can see us getting a fair amount of points in these next few games if we can beat West Ham. Carl
mm,
Rossi says was class yet. He delighted I actually watched the team fighting, and that's all
mm.
I want really. That's all
Yeah,
I want. I think that's all any fan wants really. I
yeah,
mean, if you're going to lose a game, you lose a game, but if you go down and you're fighting, I think it makes a big difference. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You feel more, you feel a hell of a lot better at the end of it. Oh, we was unlucky there, but we tried. The worst thing is when it's like we was unlucky, but we didn't deserve anything anyway.
I
That's
think
what
it.
you don't want to hear.
I think if you see a team that you support actually fight for everything, regardless of end result, it builds your trust in the players and that team.
Mm,
It builds a trust that it's like I can actually follow these guys home and away and know that they
see, I'm
fight
supposed to be
they
doing
fight
this,
for
aren't I?
everything. Um, but yeah, I think
Yeah,
with Nottingham Forest, it looks like they have got that sort of fight in the belly, and that's I think it's a pleasant thing for Forest fans because they can be written off by that many games this season, and the amount of
yeah,
times
yeah,
I've seen Nottingham Forest get written off, but they actually perform a lot better than
yeah, yeah,
expectation. Um, I think it's going to turn into a lesson real quick that teams that are serious about going places will actually turn up and will go places and win games they shouldn't win. Will perform better than what most people would say, or perhaps what the bookies, the odds, write them down
yeah,
as. And
yeah.
I think with Forest, if they're going the right direction, then the fans can have full faith and full trust in what it is that Steve Cooper's doing with this team, but not just Steve Cooper, but everybody else at Nottingham Forest as well.
Mm, mm. Well, like Drew says, too many people underestimate Forest. They
Mm,
do, like I said on that stream the other day. I get tired of watching the ones which, oh, so and so are playing Forest this week. Oh, Forest have got no chance. They're going to lose this, that, and the other. And I get tired
mm,
of it. And I said it on Jez's stream the other day. You know, all you people that's underestimating us and disrespecting disrespecting us, um, you know, you're going to pay for that. We're going to make you respect us. It is coming. It is coming. It's all I ever want. Yeah, absolutely, Cole. That's all anybody wants. You want your team to fight. In me rugby
mm,
days, if I left the pitch without either a black eye, massive bruise, I'd be ashamed of myself. Yeah,
mm.
absolutely, absolutely, 100%, man. True Gunners, that's us out of the conversation. Then we don't fight from the start to the end. No, you don't. You don't at all, man. You don't. And again, just vibing for 90 minutes for fuck's sake. Big up Wolfgang, mate. I'll send you the link in a second. In fact, we'll be talking about the Chelsea game in a second, so I'll definitely send you the link for that. Big up, gents, and big up, Drew. Right, okay, so yeah, I mean, we did what we had to do. If you want
Mm,
to underestimate us, that's up to you. We do still make a few little silly mistakes. We did in that game, to be fair, but
mm.
we had the luck on our side, and sometimes you have to ride your luck, and that's what gets you the points in the Premier League
Yeah,
when you've got to a certain point. So you can't really fault that. On to the because I mean I could talk about Forest for the next 4 hours, to be fair, but on to Liverpool Luton. I think me and you was on the stream, weren't we? And we both said
yeah.
that 4-0 to
Mm,
Liverpool.
complete write off on
Mm,
Luton's part. Complete write off. But yeah, I think the game sort of showed a little bit of Liverpool going to an away ground, probably feeling a little bit more relaxed about things, but not really understanding that as much as Luton might be favourites to, finish rock
Evening, Jazz.
bottom. There might be favourites to finish rock bottom in the Premier League. Anybody that goes to these away grounds, regardless of your size, you've got to put in the effort. You've got to have the fight. You've got to
Yeah.
compete physically, and usually it's a physical affair. And I felt like Liverpool, like defensive side of things, probably once or twice getting caught out by the ball over the top, and that's just Jurgen Klopp's football. Usually, exploit them with the ball over the top, runs in behind. I think it's just a bit of a good scouting to the game plan from Luton, but I think the only downside for Luton's case is that they just don't have more quality, because then you can probably exploit more of those passages of play.
Mm.
Um, but Liverpool just off it, completely off colour, and the attack. And
Yeah.
it's funny because I was saying during that game at the start that Liverpool have on stream. It was on stream as well with you and with Wolfgang. That Liverpool probably have the most potent attack across the front three positions out of anybody else in the league.
Mm.
They're probably the most dangerous, and quite frankly, honest, they look quite toothless. It took a
Yeah.
Diaz
Yeah.
header
Yeah.
late in the day to rescue anything. Otherwise, that was down. That was rooted down for a loss.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I agree totally. I thought Luton was amazing, to be fair. I mean, the counter attack, everything. I mean, that open goal from Nuno.
Mm,
I mean, come on, man. I mean, you've got to be putting that away. And I thought Liverpool was lucky to get a draw. I mean,
mm,
Liverpool fans probably won't like that, but I mean, the last thing on this planet that will ever bother me is not being liked by Liverpool fans. It's not something that I really care about, to be fair.
mm,
And to be honest, they should have. Luton should have managed that other one, that other counter attack with Carl Morris, or whatever his name is,
yeah.
Carlton Morris, is it? That could easily have gone in on another day, and they could easily have lost that game. So I thought they was actually quite lucky, to be fair,
Mm,
in that one. I don't like I say I weren't expecting it. Well, we was just admiring the shirts, weren't we?
mm,
Really. And then all of a sudden, it's like, and they threw everything at it. To be fair, they did actually throw everything at it, but
mm,
it just didn't stick, and they didn't get anything from it. So
mm,
they just end up taking a draw, and it's not anything to be embarrassed. It is embarrassing because it's Liverpool, but you've got to get this attitude out your
mm,
mind that you deserve to just go anywhere and beat anybody, because you don't.
mm,
You've got to make sure you do that. If you don't make sure you do that, then you don't deserve to do that. Jez, I've sent you the link. I've sent you the link, Wolfgang. Jurgen says, how does a club go from having the best defensive and playing the best attractive football to this? Mikel Arteta, mate.
mm,
That's the only real answer I can kind of give to that, to be honest with you. I mean, it makes no sense that you've gone from being the best team last season. Well, you weren't the best team because Man City was, but being the best team for 93% of the league, and
mm,
then you've just retracted and gone to this other style, which clearly isn't working. I'm not sure if the players are on board with this style. I don't know if anybody else is in here because I can't see the thing here. I don't know how that works, so we'll have to see when he comes in.
mm,
But yeah, I mean, it's criminal, really. It's criminal what he's done. You're
yeah.
supposed to make what you've got better, and
Yeah.
he's made it worse. So, but I mean, you went to Sevilla. Um, well, you didn't. They came to you, but
Mm,
and it weren't the hardest game, to be honest. But you won it, and you
mm,
did what you had to do. But it wasn't the most difficult game I've ever seen. They was resting everybody anyway because I think they're playing Real Betis, is it, this weekend, and that's
mm,
their derby game. So I think they rested
okay.
pretty much everybody. But you still did what you had to do. Great goal from Saka. And fair play to you on that one, really. But it weren't the best game. The best game, which I'm going to mention now, was Man United Sevilla. I mean, Hot Fuzz probably won't agree that it was the
Right.
best game, but
Yeah.
for
Copenhagen,
quality
man.
and watching, it was a good game.
Yeah, I mean, from a neutral standpoint, there's so much to
What's
talk
that?
about.
Look at that. Hold on. Yeah, you're right. Carry on.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, it was
Try and sort this out.
big up full phone. Good to see you, mate.
Oh,
Big up,
sorry.
Fuzzy. Big up, yeah.
This musical
Big
chairs
up,
for
mate.
the
How you
screen
doing?
time, right?
Yeah, I'm not bad,
That's
dude.
it.
Thank
That's
you very
how you
much.
do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man.
Can't be bad, mate. Oh, you can have 6 on stream at once. I just noticed it down in the corner. So yeah, we're talking about what was we
Copenhagen.
talking about? Oh, Man United
Copenhagen
Sevilla.
game.
Man United Copenhagen, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're on that one.
Eesh.
Nasty end to our Champions League campaign now. There's a lot of people talking about there's still possibilities. Like the most winnable game out of all 3 that we had left to play has been played.
No
and
worries, Jazz, mate.
We screwed the pooch big time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
absolutely just kicked ourselves into the dirt. And it was looking actually relatively good for a best part of 40 minutes because, 11 versus 11. Rasmus Højlund is already on a hat trick.
He played good.
2 goals.
Mm.
And
He's awesome.
it's looking.
He's good, he is.
We're looking like we're sort of going a bit more of a cruising sort of like play style to half time, and Copenhagen not really giving us much of a challenge, much of a threat. And I'll be honest, me, Marcus Rashford, it's actually quite an even split between it being a red and it being not a red card. And
it's an orange. It's an orange, mate. It's an orange.
But what are people's thoughts on that? Like, do you perceive that as a red card or not?
It's mad, isn't it? Now, I mean, at the end of the day, if you go for the ball and you slip over the ball, then and your studs go into another player's leg, then it's back in the day it wouldn't have been. Back in the day,
That's
it
just a
wouldn't have been.
foul, and you get on with it, or just get on with it.
Exactly. Back in the day, it would have just been you won the ball, the player's down, whatever. But but now it's changed, and if you do that, then you're going to be in trouble from it. Same as the Liverpool guy, whatever his name was, when he did it. I mean, that to me weren't a red in no way, shape, or form.
Well, the thing that fascinates me about the Rashford one, and he's in possession of the ball. Why would he intentionally want to stamp on him?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
It's just a bit of denominator of common sense, really. It's just
Mm.
that I did feel sorry for it. He hasn't been playing particularly well, Rashford, but he was just shielding the ball. You can see he's just clearly shielding. I think a yellow would have done. If you want to give him a card, just give him a yellow.
I agree.
Because the cards nowadays ruin games. So
I totally agree. Totally agree with that, to be honest. When I watched it, that's exactly what I was thinking. He's got control of the ball. Why would he all of a sudden just decide to stamp on someone's leg? It just don't make any sense.
It's not like he's out of control because he's not lunging. There's no momentum. It's literally he just catches him down his leg because he's just a little bit quick, or just a little bit late. But he's still trying to shield the ball. He's not anything in it. Not really.
It's crazy though, isn't it? You look at the 29 for Newcastle, and he goes flying in on what's his name, Longstaff. I mean, if that's not a red, how can the Rashford one be a red?
Are you talking about the one in Dortmund? Yeah.
No,
the Arsenal v Newcastle.
The push on the back of the head. Yeah.
Arsenal v Newcastle, where Havertz just went flying into Longstaff at the corner and just basically took him out.
I know.
That to me was a red. That's a red.
All the weekend when it comes to fouls and tackles I think the only genuine day that you got it right was probably against the Spurs game. But that's because they only had one game to make decisions in. So they could put all their efforts into it, I suppose.
Well, I mean, the Spurs one's in contention because, I mean, the Spurs fans don't think it's a red and all this. I mean, whatever.
Red?
I mean,
because it was a 4.
Well, yeah, which one? Yeah, exactly. Which one? And then we move on. We'll move on to the Chelsea Spurs game now. Actually, like I was saying at the start, it looked like Tottenham was going to be all over it. It looked like it was going to be game over. Then they scored, and then Chelsea came into it. Sterling gets that goal, but he does it his hand and down onto his foot. But and then it just goes mental after that, and Tottenham are just flying in left, right, and centre. Lose Romero, which killed the game for them. To be honest, it really did. In my opinion, Udogie goes off, which was 100%. 100% had to go off. He knew it anyway. As soon as he'd done it, he had his hands up straight away, so he knew he'd done it. Chelsea for me wasn't great. I'll be honest. I thought it made a real hard work of it. To be fair, he kept trying to play it down that right hand side, and the passes just weren't good enough. And Vicario just kept winning the passes and managing to clear it. I think if you'd have managed to get the right weight on the pass, I think Vicario would have brought one of your players down, and then he would have been off as well, and then it would have been a whole
try playing
different
through them
story.
instead of over the top. That's what we started actually doing when we started actually picking our passes, and Cucurella and Sterling and them not started getting the ball, and then obviously Jackson finishing first time. Would you believe it? That's what I want to see more of that guy, man. Finish first time.
Absolutely.
None of this run around the goalkeeper malarkey. Just put the ball in the back of the net, please.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to give respect where respect's due, haven't you? I mean, we have a go at these players, but when they actually do things right and do things like that, you've got to give them the respect. And he could have had 5, to be fair. I mean, what do you think about that game, Hotfuzz?
Yeah, I think it's probably a tale of I'd say tale of two halves. It was more the tale of opening 20 minutes and then tale of the other 70. And for me, Spurs looked like they were more up for it from the first whistle. And had it stayed an 11 versus an 11 sort
Big
of
up,
event,
Anthony.
then maybe it could have been a complete way. It would have been a completely different story. But for me, Romero shooting himself in the foot as well as catching a couple of his teammates as well, because absolutely killed the game. I think Udogie probably a little bit lucky to avoid getting a red for jumping into Sterling. I think it was both feet off the ground and literally going studs first into where the player was.
Like a drop kick.
It's a slight drop kick, but it's like you can see it from the reverse angle, and he does leave. Both feet do leave the ground, but I mean Spurs had something in the locker. Romero said no. Chelsea, I think. To be fair to Chelsea, at that point they were sort of evening the game up a little bit, not saying like being camped in their own box like they were first 10 minutes or so. They were starting to sort of balance things up a little bit, but I think that red card has pretty much sealed the fate. It was just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And I think it compiled or compounded the misery for Tottenham when Udogie gets a second yellow card. And then it was like there was a feeling about the game for about 10 minutes or 10, 15 minutes where Chelsea were almost trying to desperately to score a goal, because it's like, well, we're 2 players up. We should be scoring goal after goal after goal here. It looked like a bit of inexperience in the team. They weren't quite knowing what to do. And I was thinking, if you just slow it down, be a little bit more patient, like have the ball at your feet a little bit longer, because Manchester City would do this. If they're up by a man, 2 players,
they're killing the game.
However many, they're doing it cynically, clinically, and they'll just dissect you. And I think Chelsea had somewhat the right idea, because if you're playing a high line, you've got pacey attackers. That's where you exploit it. But I think playing it too soon, the runners wanting to make the run too quickly.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't quite coming together until come the 74th minute, I think it was.
I mean, about
Jackson,
74.
And Sterling made the run, because I think he started his run from a little bit deeper and made it. I think it made whoever it was that was playing the ball made their mind up a lot sooner. It's like, okay, now I can play the ball here. Even then, it was, is it offside? Is it offside? But no, fair plays to Sterling for actually making that decision a bit easier. And then they just hit the afterburners. my question is what the bloody hell was Ange Postecoglou thinking by playing literally a flat
That was mental,
line,
wasn't it?
line
I tell you
on the halfway line with 9 men against a pacey Chelsea attack with 2 players advantage.
I understand what Deji said though the other day, that with that defence, you know, what else you're going to do, really? I understood that, and I thought at the time, I thought, man, this is real brave what they're doing here. But then when you actually look at it with a logical mind, it's mental and it's crazy. But I don't know if you watched the goal again, Wolf, but and not Fuzz. But if you watch that one with Dyer, that actually comes off your player's head.
It touches both players that were contesting the header.
If you look at Caicedo's goal, thinking on Jackson's not actually in Vicario's view. So yeah, that's 1 for 1.
Yeah, 1 for 1, isn't it?
Because I'm not being funny. We had 3 disallowed goals.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's
it's a mad game.
It was 3 disallowed goals. Because the one thing that baffed me about, and this is what Fuzzy just touched on, the inexperience. I think it was part inexperience, part surprise. Because we genuinely couldn't believe that they were still keeping that high line. Was it a trap? Was it something? Because they were playing the offside trap as well, which was weird. Because I tell you what, without Vicario, that second half would have been a lot different.
Oh man, that would have been.
He cleared the ball about 5 times just by running off his
line. 100%. 100%. You can see why he's put in the high brackets that he is, because he was the difference, really. You could have absolutely mullered him if it weren't for Vicario being off his line that quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he got all of them right as well. The ones he did get off for, he got every single one right.
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, and it's long for Spurs as well, because the news has come out that don't know what the news is, but the news has come out that Van de Ven is out for a good while.
Yeah, 3 months.
Maddison is worse than they actually thought it was, so he's out. And who else is out? Somebody else is out as well.
Well, I think Romero's suspended for 3 games.
Romero's done for 3 games.
Suspended for 1
Did somebody else get injured? I can't remember.
I don't know if it was early in the game.
That's a tower block, Drew. That's not a person. Sorry, read the comments. I couldn't help but notice
he thinks it's Nosferatu tapping on your window. Salem's Lot, mate.
Just for those
he's checking now. See if it is.
It's a tower block.
Yeah.
I don't actually think anybody else went off. No, I don't think anybody else got injured that game.
Well, the thing is, that's what I said to Deji.
That's what I read the other day.
No, because that report you said about Van de Ven and Maddison, about both of them being out for at least 2 months, came out today. So I heard about that, and I told Deji about that as well, because he said to me the other night, he said something curious to me. He went to me, even though we went down to 9, you got to respect my club. And I was just like, why is that? And he was like, because we had a go. And I was like, but having a go is something you tell to a kid that lost an egg and spoon race. Oh, don't worry, you came second, but you had a go. Like, what do you mean you had the go? Of course you're gonna have it. Are you Spurs or are you Southampton?
Yeah.
What do you mean you had a go? That's something that Southampton would say. Yeah.
Mate, that was amazing. I mean, you boxed him up. Put the sellotape round, made sure the box was nice tight, and sent it back to him.
Dude, he was telling me, when you come to my club, you're going to get beaten 4-0. So that's why I told you guys, when we won 4-1, it was the complete... I told you I was going to cook him.
Yeah, you did, mate. You did big style. I don't think he knew what to say after so long, but, Deji's always going to have something else to say, but you was absolutely owning that, to be fair. Big up to AFC always. Good to see you, man.
Take care, Carl, as well. Take care.
Oh, take care, mate. Take care, buddy.
Carl, man. Big up, bro.
And also, I mean, it's like I say, with them injuries, I mean, that's massive. And to be fair, the real test now comes with Spurs. And one thing I will say to you guys right now, and to anybody who's watching this, if they come through this test, it's frightening.
Doubt.
Do you know what I mean?
Newcastle, Man City, West Ham, all in the next 5.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna come through that unscathed.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't. But
I
if they do,
because you know what I think's me laughing. I always say this about every season. There's always the first 10 games, and then you see what happens. And
take care, Drew, mate.
I'll let it, Drew. You're off as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, first 10 games is always different.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh no, it's Kyle. You deceiver, Mama Flossie. Deceiver.
Oh, Mama Flossie's trying to trick everybody in the chat. Take care, Drew. Carl. See you later, Mama. See you later, Wolf. See you later, Opfus. See you later, Yeti.
Night, John boy.
Just
because we're all staying.
Bye.
It's night, Jim Bob.
Bye. I'll tell you what. It's peak because I'm looking at Spurs' current active squad that I think they've got available, or players that have feature for the club or have made it into squads. Their centre backs are consisting of Eric Dyer and Ashley Phillips.
Ashley Phillips,
wow.
18 years
Chicken
of age,
Royale.
not played. Yeah, Emerson Royale or Pedro
Chicken
Porro.
Royale.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad for them. It really is mad.
You've
But
got
if they,
Chicken
like I
Royale.
say, if they come through it, gotta start taking notice, haven't you? Mama Flossie, I'm just confusing you all. Yeah, and you definitely did. 100%. We all fell for that one. Right, anyway, on to this week. And thanks for everybody who's in the chat and everything. The likes, the subscribes. Make sure you subscribe to Wolf. Make sure you hit Wolf. Make sure you subscribe to Wolf. Make sure you subscribe to Opfus as well. Absolute real one.
Fuzzy,
Same
what
as
was that
Arsenal
for?
history and more as well.
We've got
Right, okay.
getting the swings in.
Let's have a look at this week's fixtures. So we'll start with the Wolverhampton and the team we're talking about, Tottenham.
Stop them
Tottenham.
Hotspurs.
Mate,
Top
this is
Spur?
only
I've not heard
my
of them.
first drink. What the hell is going on? Spurs, Wolves and Hotspurs. Wolves and Spurs.
Wolves and
my
Hotspurs.
days. End the stream, Dave.
All right, Dave. Sorry. Yeah.
So Wolves Tottenham. I'm going to say I think that Wolves are going to win this. I've got. I think Tottenham's going to really start getting hit now. To be honest, Wolves do attack a lot. They don't hit the goal a lot, unfortunately, and that's a massive.
They got
thing,
a good team,
obviously.
though. I like Wolves.
They have got a good team. I don't know if Neto's in because that could be interesting going up against Dyer or whatever.
Oh, can you imagine that?
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's going to be long, isn't it? So I don't know. I don't know what the situation is there, but I think Tottenham are going to start falling down now. Could be wrong. But I just think maybe they will start because Wolves lost to Sheffield United last week, so they're going to be wanting to get it back, aren't they? So
wouldn't that be so Premier League though, wouldn't it? To lose one week and come back the next. That's so Premier League.
Absolutely. And Drew says, always a pleasure to show you some support, Yeti. Yeah, cheers, man. Always love, man. Always love. You know that. And Opfus. And he said, Yeti then. Opfus.
Well, he is, though.
I'm having a beer here. Opfus, what do you think? Wolves and Spurs.
Tottenham hot Spartan.
Top Spur hot ham.
I like that one. I'm going to look at that one.
Oh my days.
Well, if we're talking about hot ham, I mean, Wolves are going to fancy their chances devouring this hot ham. I mean, Christ almighty, this injury list is ridiculous.
So they're going to get marinated then?
Yeah.
Marinated, not marinated.
Like a bacon to the slaughter.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, is now a chicken on a basketball settings for Tottenham because they've got Madison, Perisic, Richarlison, Romero, Sessegnon, Solomon, Edogi, Whiteman, and Van der Ven all missing.
I swear you just named her 11, first 11.
Well, most of them, yeah. I don't know why Richarlison's got a pelvis injury. I mean, I question what he's been doing outside of football.
Yeah, he will be saying hot stuff next. Yeah, probably. No, me.
But yeah, unfortunately, Wolves, they are going to be missing Neto. So, but even so, I do think that Wolves will definitely fancy their chances because they're at home. It's a weakened Spurs.
Yeah, you're not going to get a better time than it, is it?
I mean,
have you seen that Bellegarde though they've got? Bellegarde or something. He looks decent, you know. He scored against Sheffield United. Unfortunately, nobody else did, but you know that's just how it goes, I suppose.
Well, we'll see on the day, innit?
Bellegarde, they're a French player.
Yeah, he looks good. I've seen him a few times. He looks decent. He does.
Can you imagine that being a bell with a cock on your shirt? Tough luck, isn't it?
It is. Well, I mean, Jazz is cooking coq au vin. I mean, I don't know what that is. Is that some kind of weird thing or something? But yeah, Cockspurs are on the tumble. Yeah, absolutely. So you're thinking Wolves win then?
Yeah, I'd probably say something like a 2-1. But then again, I could probably see.
I'm gonna have to write your guys' names down in a minute. The fuck.
Gonna have to type stuff in on Google Translate. that automated voice type your sentences. Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, on paper, it'd probably be something like a 2-1, but I can see this being something like a 3-1 to Wolves because I think Spurs will probably find a way, some jammy way to get the ball in the back of the net. They'll continue playing a high line.
Yeah.
My biggest concern for them is that if they're not using the pace of their fullbacks to really cover for some of these like the runs into the channels, yeah, it's going to be a long afternoon for Tottenham.
They've
got a.
Does anyone know if Juan's fit? Because I think he will terrorise them. You know.
I think he is
fit. He is fit.
Because he's a powerful, strong dude.
He's all right, isn't he? Yeah, he's decent. He is. He's all right. What do you think, Wolf? What do you think about the game tomorrow? Do you think Wolves will win?
I'm actually going to be a bit more pessimistic. I'll go more of a draw. I'm thinking more of a draw because, like, I think it depends whether Neto plays. He's the difference maker. I think
Neto's out.
Oh, then I think I'll go for a draw because I think Spurs they'll be looking to bounce back. Wolves are not on a great run themselves. They're still living off their win against City. They're trying to build up, but I don't know. That's a tricky one because it depends on what Wolves turn up.
3 months for Maddison. Wow.
And speaking of Maddison, my question is going to be to Son is who's your partner in crime now?
They've lost their world-class player.
Son and Maddison, they feed off each other so much.
They do.
The goals contribution between those two is massive. You take out a key component to the attacking element of that midfield, someone who sets up the ball on a plate for
Son can create though. Son can create.
He can create, I suppose.
Yeah. Kulusevski can as well.
One player that's probably going to have to make sure he really does go to a different level is Brennan Johnson.
The other one that was injured was Richarlison, but that don't matter anyway. But that was the other one I was trying to think of.
But yeah, for me, Brennan Johnson, he's going to have a massive afternoon.
I thought he was. You know what? I thought he was going to be an absolute nightmare for Chelsea on Monday. And then he ends up going off. So
yeah. And I think Levy Colwell made him look a bit better than what he actually was because Levy Colwell was a shocker.
You're probably right there. But I mean, he is Brennan Johnson is a good player. He's a young player.
Yeah,
he is good. He's got. I think he's at the best place, to be quite honest with you.
Vanished in the second half, though.
Yeah.
Hang on, boys.
He needed to be in a team where basically they play exactly the same way as like Ange plays. where you're just attacking, because his defensive game's not all that good. So he just is what it is on that. But yeah, Madison is now out for 3 months, which is a massive blow to them. See, my score prediction is going to be. I'm going to respect Spurs like Deji keeps asking us to. So my scoreline is Wolves 7, Spurs 0.
I'll go 2-1 Wolves just to be cheeky. Sod it. You know me and my results. I'm quite close 9 times out of 10.
You are pretty decent.
Knowing my predictions, they tend to go polar opposite. So I'm thinking it's going to end up with Yeti's scoreline by the end of the game, 7-0 Wolves. But
and if if Wolves beat Spurs 7-0 and Spurs keep fighting the whole game, Deji's going to be like,
we got our club, mate. We got our club back.
We never stopped fighting. Even when the 7th goal went in, we were still fighting.
We ain't got 8 of our best players. Respect me, club.
We're losing 7-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers, but the away section, they're still chanting loud and proud. We're
still fighting.
I was just about to say, we got our Spurs back.
Oh my days. Right, anyway, moving on to Arsenal v Burnley. Right, Arsenal v Burnley. I think this is a definite win for Arsenal. It should be. It's at Emirates.
It should be a 3-4-0.
Burnley played, to be honest, Burnley against Palace, the highlights I watched, it was all Burnley. And they did some great stuff going forward, but unfortunately, they just haven't got that finishing touch. And that's something they're going to have to work on. And then another unfortunate thing is when you haven't got that finishing touch and you also make silly defensive mistakes, that, I'm afraid, is a recipe for disaster, isn't it? On anybody.
Hang yourself.
So I think Arsenal going to do that one about 3-4-0, to be honest.
Kai Havertz hat trick.
Probably be 1-1 like the Luton Liverpool one. I said the same thing, but what do you think, Fuzz?
Yeah, it's got 4-0 type scoreline written all over it. Now, Burnley, it's Burnley away, but Burnley again, Vincent Kompany, stubborn game plans. Let's play our style of football. We can concede about 5,000 goals in 90 minutes. Even though it's kind of impossible, we'll still be playing the same way we played when it was 0-0.
Yeah, sounds like Spurs again.
Yeah, to be fair, it's Ange Postcott.
Spurs Burnley game will be good.
I mean, yeah.
Never mind defence. Let's just keep the tackle.
12 players in each other's half. Goalkeepers included.
Yeah,
oh man, Mammoth Flossie says it'll be interesting to see how well Spurs do in the next couple of months. Absolutely, it's a massive test. This is a test. What we've all been saying, that can they come through? We should be beating Burnley 3 or 4-0. Yeah, absolutely right. AFC always. Carry on up, Fuzz.
So yeah, for me. Okay, sorry, that was a call for dinner. But yeah, for me, Arsenal. Missing a few key components here, questionable with Ødegaard and Saka, whether they'll be fit because Saka went off hobbling midweek against Sevilla. But Ødegaard's, even without Ødegaard, I mean,
Odegaard.
Yeah, I mean, Wodegaard, the Gibraltar-Guard, whatever you want to call him.
Wodegaard, I like that one.
That's just
Rent-a-ghost, isn't it?
But yeah, I mean, Kai Havertz and Jorginho in that midfield still should be able to do a job against Burnley, because they don't have the quality of Burnley to rock up to the Emirates and command any result by any means, unless Arsenal I think if Burnley get anything from this game, it's because Arsenal just really hit a new low. Like they just don't perform. They don't turn.
What if Burnley body them like West Ham did? Get at them physically, because that's how West Ham messed them up so bad.
Yeah, I mean they could do, but Burnley's pretty much played every game the same, where they just like go gung ho, basically.
Yeah.
True.
Which is mad, really, when you think that they've got a manager who's a great defender.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? It's a bit crazy, isn't it? That.
Yeah. Anyways, I've got to jump off now because I've been called away. So
Don't jump. It's not worth
I'm
it,
gonna
mate.
go, I'm gonna go jump off my seat and onto the floor, onto the carpet. This way you
can't see it,
find
but
out.
Fuzzy's got no legs.
You can't
In
see
fact, he might
it.
not have, you know. Yeah,
You
we don't
can't
know,
see
do
it, but I'm half of Peter Dinklage's height. And actually, I'm
we?
jumping off the pavement onto the road.
Do you live in the Shire?
Skydiving.
You got hairy feet.
I live under the bed. There's that much clearance between the ground and the bed, mate. I live under the bed, but yeah.
I'm just
Paint
a
you
wicker
blue.
man, sir.
Paint you blue. You could be a Smurf.
I don't think I've got a hat to do it, but or maybe I have got a hat somewhere. I can pull it off somehow.
No, just put anything Man United on. We'll think you're a Smurf anyway. Red one.
No,
Right, so apparently Odegaard is back tomorrow, so that's that one sorted. AFC always Havertz running away from the ball every match, wrong runs, hide behind opponents instead of giving solutions. You know what? I don't know if you saw that thing from World of Arsenal the other day in the Instagram up for us. What planet is he on? Havertz had his best game for West Ham. He was really good against Newcastle, which he shouldn't have even been on the pitch. And then he has a great, and he really shines against Seville. I mean, who didn't shine against Seville?
Seville were woeful.
You know what I mean?
And he still didn't score.
No, I mean, I don't know what these guys are on, to be honest with you.
I love Arsenal. Thank you so much for giving us 60
You've got to, ain't you? You've got to. I mean, they are the gift that keeps giving, these stupid fans. They really are. Not all of you in the chat, by the way. I mean, you lot are real. I mean, you speak it real, but some of them are absolute prats. There's no doubt about that.
If you cooked the Smurf cocktail,
chopped the Smurf that colour, would it go?
Man United red.
Yeah, it might do. I don't know. Never choked a Smurf, mate. I'll be honest, so I can't really comment on that one.
That's like in Bottom when they're camping in the park and they think they're getting attacked by wombles.
Yeah,
I love that episode. Wombles.
Brilliant, isn't it?
So I've got to jump off now. So
yeah, no worries. Do you want to jump back on, or do you want to chat your channel? Chat your channel, or do you want to shout your channel out now?
Well, if you guys are still going, by the time I get back, I can jump back on. But if not, then catch me later on tonight. Got to do a match preview for Man United Luton tomorrow.
Hard lines on that one.
Hang on, just before you go, Fuzzy, don't you think it's funny, right? And this is one thing everyone's seen. Has anyone seen how blatantly Declan Rice is avoiding passing the Kai Havertz?
Yeah, exactly.
It's quite blatant now.
It is blatant, isn't it?
You'll look at him, then carry on running.
Yeah.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one back. It's like David De Gea trying to pass to Harry Maguire. So he sees Maguire's the free player. Everyone else is under pressure. He's like, I'm gonna pass it out of play. I'm gonna boot it out.
I'll give it to the linesman. It's a safer bet.
That's mad. I mean, have you seen what? Have you seen what school fuggery did to Saeed? No. When Saeed was saying, "How's that handball?" and he's like, put music behind it, so it's like handball, handball, and the drum beats going behind it.
I'll be checking that out later. Now.
Brilliant. Honestly, it's brilliant. I think it's on Twitter. Lee Gunner did it. I don't know if I could play it on here. I'm not quite sure on that, to be honest.
No, I think Lee would be copying anything for. No, you can clip it as long as you play the whole show or something.
Yeah, I should have done that earlier, really. If that was Havertz's best performance, then we're in trouble. You are in trouble, mate. You are in trouble.
Your defence is in trouble.
Yeah, there was a guy in the terrace saying all the Havertz hate is wrong. He's a good player and getting better. Oh, mate, honestly, what an idiot, man.
I agree with that guy. You don't know what you're talking about. He scored in the Champions League final.
Yeah, this is true. He's a moments player, apparently. I don't know when the moment comes, but apparently the
they come and
moment.
go, and that's it. It's
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
The moment's
I mean,
finished.
I don't know when the moments are supposed to be here, but
Yeah.
shout your channel. Yeah, exactly.
I like
But yeah.
Chanel. I like
Yeah.
Chanel.
Shout
Mama
your
Fuzzy.
channel.
But yeah,
I
got
can't
the
even read it wrong. Yeah, I can say it. None
yeah,
of
got
our
the,
players past the 29 unless it's the only option. Exactly, and it's hurting your play. You can see it, to be honest. And Havertz, I think Lee Gunner put it the best the other day. It's like he tries to get behind. He like hides behind the ref, or he gets it with that many players around him. There's no way he's going to get it past to him anyway.
Shy Havertz.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Shy Havertz. Yeah, 100%.
I think that's
I think
that's
he's
the name we gave him actually.
yeah.
Think about it.
Well, I mean, you must be looking at. I mean, come on, man! Celebration when he got when they signed him for 65 bloody million.
65. I thought, trust me, all Chelsea fans were like, "What?"
sorry guys, got to jump off now. But yeah, just quick
Did
one.
you shout your channel out, or did you keep talking?
Well, Potfuzz 44 OG on YouTube. I will be doing a show later on tonight for Luton preview for tomorrow afternoon. So catch me later on. I will be
Cash me outside.
Cash me
outside.
Cash me outside.
For the City, for the City watch along. Yeah, I'll be on Wolfgang Division's channel. And thanks for having me on, guys. And
big up to you, mate. Big up to you. Cheers for coming on.
Stay sweet.
As normal, man. As normal. And right, so me and Hot Fuzz going to go into Crystal Palace v Everton. This one's don't sound like a very entertaining, interesting game, does it? Really, but I don't know. Everton, what did they do? Did they get no? They lost to Brentford, didn't they? I think this is a Palace. Well, I think this is probably a 0-0.
Oh, take care, Jez. Have a good one, brother. Stay safe.
Take care, Jez, mate. Enjoy your cockavan.
Well, well, to be honest, Everton, you never know what Everton you're gonna get, really, do you?
This is true. This is true.
And I think that was just. Don't worry, Mama Flossie. He knows it's me. I think it was just where he's saying goodbye to her, Fuzz.
Why did I say goodbye to you?
Yeah, you did.
Did I? Did I? Oh,
yeah, you did. But it don't matter. Yeah. But this has stinker written all over it, really. But I think is it Everton at home?
Crystal Palace at home.
Oh, they're shocking at home. They can't. I think Everton will win. You know.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, because I tell you what, one thing about Everton, they're one of those sides like a Wolves. On their day, they can be a real big pain in the back.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So I think really, I'm actually going Everton on this one because they still got decent players. They got their Decore. You know what I mean? They got Calvert Lewin on his day who can be effective if he's fit.
True. So, Matt
you
Beto as well. He seems all right.
Yeah, Beto. Yeah, and he's only just got there, and he's not looked bad. And I'm not being funny. I must admit, I'm a fan of Sean Dyche as well. You know, I'm not gonna lie.
Same here. Yeah.
Because I'm not being funny. When you think of Burnley, you still think about him, like so, and how mean they were to play. So, and I think he's not done a bad job because they've had some good results, like a couple of 3-0s here and there. I think that'll be one of those. I mean, Palace have got no teeth. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
And even with Jordan Ayew and them, like it just.
Everton have got to make mistakes. I mean, that was our Palace beat whoever they played. I forgot now, but Burnley won it. Was it Burnley? Yeah, Burnley. Everton do make mistakes at the back, and Palace do tend to keep going at you. So basically, there could be something in that as well.
He always tells them to keep on going, but they lack quality. They lack their own kind of quality. Look when they played Arsenal. If they just finished their dinner, you know.
Mama Flossie says Man has lost the plot. Yeah, I don't think Man ever found the plot, to be fair, to lose it in the first place. Yeah, exactly. There's a plot. Manchester United, Luton.
Oh dear.
This is an interesting one, isn't it? It's Old Trafford.
And the funny thing is, you wouldn't put it past Luton pushing Man United, would you? Because of how bad they've been. And
they'll play harder than Man United.
They will, and Man United are on the slide a bit. Bit. It's still Luton. They're still at home though, man. And if Whelan's fit, I can still see him getting a hat trick.
Mm.
He's a good. I tell you what, as mad as it may sound, like if Man United were to actually pull their finger out of their backside, they got 5 or 6 good players that are good, and
Yeah, yeah.
Hoyland is a man among them.
Mm.
Trashford, don't really rate him. Martial, don't really
No,
rate him.
no.
But I don't mind Garnacho on his day. He's decent. At least he provides a bit of width in that. I think they'll win 2-0.
You know what? I'm going with AFC always on this one.
You're going for a
I'm
shot.
going for a shot win to Luton.
All right. Well, I'll bang on 2-0 to United. So what are you saying? 1-0 to Luton.
Yeah, 1-0 Luton. Yeah,
Or another one of those they hold out sort of things.
yeah. I think they played well against Liverpool. I
Yeah,
think
they
they're
did.
going to have, their heads are going to be up. Whether they can actually do a clean sheet, that's probably the only issue. But I definitely think they'll get something there.
Well, it depends. There's one thing I will say. Luton, they were good against Liverpool, but they were at home. Where the
Mm.
crowd was egging them on. If they're away at Old Trafford, yeah, like you said, they're not great at the back.
Yeah, that's the issue. I mean, Man United, like you said, if the Man United turns up that you can see on paper,
Mm,
then they should beat these quite easily. But they're not that Man United, are they?
not really, but you can. I'm not being disrespectful. I kind of see Man United slightly how I see Spurs in certain aspects. They're lucky and they get away with things. So it's
Mm.
just you can just see them getting away with it.
Yeah, true,
Not
true.
them like out and out deserving it, but you can just see,
Yeah,
yeah, hello high water, they'll pull it off somehow because it is only Luton. I don't mean to be disrespectful to Luton because I
yeah.
loved because me and you were watching them against Liverpool the other day. I was loving how they were playing
Oh yeah,
the,
100%,
the
100%.
counter attack, but I just think
Mm.
right now Man United have a gem on fire right now in Hoyland, and if he plays, he'll cane him.
I do, to be honest, I do agree with that. He's looking better every game, to be fair. He's putting the others to shame, to be honest, with what he's
Mm-hmm.
doing. And yeah, you could be right there. He could have an upset because he did have a good game against Copenhagen, to
Hagen,
be
yeah, it's just
honest.
the rest of the team. You know how me and you used to normally talk about when Brian Clough talks to his defenders and say,
Mm.
"Excuse me, lad, how many goals have I got to score to win us the game?"
Mhm.
that that is exactly. Didn't he score 2 in his last game? Didn't he score 2 in the
Yeah,
game before that, or he scored 1 and 1 or something? He's
yeah,
started.
yeah, it's something like that.
He started to come to life, Welland, and he ain't bad,
Mm.
man. He really
No,
ain't bad.
no. He looks all right, to be honest. I mean, he could be the differing factor, or is Bruno now woke up? I mean, who knows? I mean, I suppose we'll have to see on that one.
Well, Bruno
Uh,
Fernandez is he a player here? People here actually rate because there's a lot of
I don't rate him, mate. I don't like him.
because for me he's kind of like an older guard. When things are going right, he'll play well, but when things are going wrong,
Mm,
he'll vanish.
yeah,
Just my take.
I do. Well, I agree with you. I mean, I don't rate him, to be honest. I don't think he's captain material. I think his head soon goes down, and that to me is not a captain.
Yeah, fully agreed.
You know, that's not what you want in a captain for me. On to Bournemouth v Newcastle. I think this is going to be a long day for Newcastle. It's at Bournemouth, but I don't think that's going to matter, to be honest. I think Newcastle will win this.
You mean it'll be a long day for Bournemouth then?
Did I say, did I say long day for Newcastle?
Yeah,
Yeah, I meant a
no,
long day for Bournemouth. I meant.
that's what he said.
Hmm. I did. I probably did. I don't know. I'll have to look at both.
Nah,
To
it
be
don't
fair.
matter. Yeah, but you're right. Bournemouth, another one of those sides like Wolves on their day. They can be a headache and a pain in the bum.
Hmm.
They got a Solanke and all that kind of thing. But I think it depends on how much of that Newcastle team actually plays because they've got a lot. All of a sudden, like Spurs, they got a lot of problems at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not
True.
sure if Isaac or Isaac, however you want to pronounce it, if is
Hmm.
playing. I know Tonali probably won't be playing now.
No.
I don't know, man, because this is where because Newcastle themselves are about to hit a run with us Spurs. You know, what I mean, this is where all the big teams start mingling with each other. I don't know.
Hmm.
I can see. I don't know. I'll have to see this condition because if anyone can tell me like who Newcastle are missing, because one thing about it is they were poor against Dortmund the other day.
Yeah, that is true. That is
Dortmund were
true.
chopping them open left, right, and centre and stretching them. So
I don't think they was great against Arsenal, to be fair.
no, but one thing about Arsenal is they at least were fighting.
Mm.
That's why they got the result. But against Dortmund, I didn't see the same sort of level of fight. No offense, I don't mean to be cruel to Newcastle, but when they were playing against Dortmund, you saw what an experienced European team does to an inexperienced European team.
Mm.
Because literally,
Oh yeah, big time.
Dortmund were playing around them and just picked the holes. So obviously,
Yeah.
Bournemouth aren't supposed to be that level, but they are at home. I'll go for a 2-0, 2-1.
Well, I mean, to be honest, that was another thing I screwed up on Tuesday because I was talking to Mama Flossie, and I said, "Oh man, that was a terrible half that was." But I think you've got to get it back in the second half. There weren't even a second half. It was the second half.
Yeah. They weren't great. They never got going. Newcastle. They never got hold of the ball. They never really broke.
They've got a tough group though, and I'll be honest. I mean, like I said to her, I mean, at the end of the day, man, even if it don't go right in this UCL, you beat Paris Saint-Germain 4-1.
Yeah, you said Mbappe packing.
And that is going to go down. That is
Yeah.
going to go down in history. And that game where they've got to play Paris Saint-Germain at their place, that could be scary. To be fair, for Newcastle fans.
True, but again, it depends because, like I said, like when you said about when they beat PSG 4-0, that was when everything was rosy and they had everyone to pick.
That's true. That is very
Now
true.
it's not going rosy and they don't have everyone to pick. That's why I need to see who's fit for the game and who's not. Now, let me quickly.
Yeah.
Let me quickly check. Right. Let me just take 30 seconds to check.
Newcastle might slap Bournemouth. To be fair, yeah, I think Newcastle. I think Newcastle will beat them. I mean, who did they beat in the cup?
Here is it. Who?
Because they didn't have anybody really fit then, and they still won.
Yeah, but you
I
know
can't
what the
remember
league's like.
who they beat now. Being in the Champions League has come way too early for us. We just don't have the quality players we need to compete. Well, I mean, you got really screwed with that group. To be fair, I mean that group is nightmare. You know, I mean Arsenal probably got the easiest group. You know, and they've even struggled and got beat by one of the teams there. So it's Champions League at the end of the day. All the other teams are there for a reason, so you can't just disband them and just think you're going to beat everybody because you're not. And Newcastle are on a learning curve at the minute, and you're in the Champions League, so fair play to you.
Well, they'll be missing Bruno Guimaraes, who's a good player for them. A very
Yeah,
good
that's
player
massive. That's massive.
Callum Wilson's definitely not going to be playing.
Yeah, that's big as well if there's no Isaac.
Yeah, no Isaac either.
That's not good then.
Matt Target, Jacob Murphy, Dan Burn, 7 Botman.
What, they're all out?
Yeah, these are guys. They're all injured. Back.
Oh my
Jacob
days.
Murphy shoulder. I'll tell you the injuries as I read them. Matt Target hamstring. Go back up the list. Bruno Guimaraes suspension. Oh, that's right, because he got sent off the other day, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
He got sent off. Hang on. Oh, bloody cookies, piss off. Yeah, they're missing about 4 or 5 players.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. That one is. Right, on to Sunday. So, I mean, that one really, with them players missing, it's going to be a difficult game, to be fair.
Like we were saying about Spurs, now the same applies to Newcastle. Now you get tested.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. These are the tests. And it's quite weird, actually, because they beat Arsenal. And now all of a sudden they're, like Arsenal beat Man City. And it's quite interesting. It's always interesting anyway in the Premier League. Aston Villa Fulham on Sunday at 2:00.
Oh, come on, that's a Villa win, isn't it?
It's got to be a Villa win, isn't it?
Fulham aren't great, but Villa are they at home?
Villa's at home.
Yeah, that's a win.
It's got to be a Villa win.
That's a win.
After last week.
No, you know what it is. One thing I like about he knows how to get a team to play, Unai. And I just think on the day, Fulham can be stubborn and they can dig their heels. But I still think that's a 1, maybe 2-1, 2-0 to Villa. Like maybe
Yeah,
Fulham will make it difficult, but yeah, I can't see past Villa on that one. Too
that's
much.
right. And have you noticed that Villa tend to slip up one game and then all of a sudden get it back the next?
Yeah, but the thing is, that's the thing. Like,
So, you know,
they're a little bit inconsistent, but other than that,
mm,
you'd still say they've got a good 11, good
mm.
players off the bench that can hurt you. You know what I mean? Because
AFC always says 3-1,
there you go,
which
3-1.
I'd probably agree with that. To be honest, it might be a few more actually, because I mean they they tried to take us on. I mean, they couldn't hit a car's backside with a banjo, to be fair. But when they did actually get shots on target, Dave was there, so we was all right. And our defence was spot on anyway, because every ball they crossed into the box, we won. We were
Yeah.
just spot on that day. Brighton, Sheffield United. It's got to be Brighton, isn't it?
I don't know because Brighton are looking rocked recently. They don't
Starting
look
to
great.
slip, aren't they?
And they're doing all right in Europe still, Brighton, but
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the league, I'm not sure. I'm not sure because
Mm.
maybe Desabi's starting to get found out.
Yeah, could be right. Could be
But
right. Just seem to be going like that.
because and I'm not really Sheffield, they can actually fight. If you know
Yeah,
what I mean, they can
yeah.
actually scrap for a result.
Mm.
So I know the simple thing is just to say go for Brighton, but I'd say
Low
a
block
draw.
counter attack, and if that Archer can score a goal like he did against Wolves, I mean, I don't know if you've seen that, but if you haven't, have a look at it.
I don't-
Beautiful long shot straight into the top corner. It's absolute beautiful goal. Liverpool, Brentford. That's probably not someone you want to be visiting. Want to be playing
What was your prediction
after
for
you
the?
just.
What was your prediction for the Villa game? Because you've not given any predictions for the last two games.
Like, it's my channel. I don't have to.
Oh, all right, then, I'm just curious,
I'm sitting on the fence, mate. No, I think same as AFC always, that 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. What was the other one I didn't give for? Bournemouth, Newcastle. I
Yep.
still think Newcastle are going to win it. I still think Newcastle about 3-1 again, to be
Fair enough.
honest.
Oh, fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's what I would say. Brighton, Sheffield. I always go, when you've got the home advantage, I always go that side. Sheffield will fight, they'll low block, they'll try and hit on the counter, but everything's got to go right when you do that, otherwise it don't work. So I still think Brighton will win that. I'm going to go 2-1 on that one for Sheffield. No, actually, I'm going to go 2-0. I think it's going to be 2-0 that one. Liverpool, Brentford.
Liverpool will be angry, won't they?
Mm.
Because of what they did in Europe last night.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd say.
Also, the Luton game.
Well, yeah, but with the Luton game, you can say that Luton battled and Liverpool just slightly underperformed, and
Yeah.
but in Europe they got clearly embarrassed. If you know what I'm saying, like
Mm.
with that
I didn't see
handball.
it. What was the score of that? I didn't see that.
Well, it was 3-2, wasn't it, to lose? But it was the
Really?
way. Yeah, it was the way it went down. Though, did you see the handball and everything? That would have
No,
left them.
I didn't. Honestly, I
Right,
didn't see
we'll
that.
put it this way. You know how there's this thing about the handballs where if it comes off the player's hand and in two phases of play, if it ends in the back of the net, it's not a goal. You know about that,
Right.
right? But that's
Yeah.
the rule. But last night, I can't remember who it was, controlled it in the midfield, and there was like 8 passes afterwards.
Right.
And then Liverpool had the ball in the back of the net, but then they ruled the goal out for handball.
Oh, right. Oh,
And
dear.
yeah, exactly. But the thing is, to be fair to the Liverpool player that did it, like he was in his own half more or less when he done it, and then it was a pass and a pass and a pass and a pass
Oh
and a
my, that's mad, isn't
and a
it?
pass,
That.
and then when they scored, they ruled the goal out. So yeah, I think burning vengeance in the back of Klopp's mind,
Yeah.
it,
Well, why not just call it when it happens? I don't get this whole thing where you play on when it just makes no sense to me.
no,
That.
it doesn't. But that's why Klopp was mad. Like he's like
Well.
for sure, yeah, feel aggrieved, like for sure. But but to be honest, I did feel for that sucked, man. Because it really was like you just now said. If you're not going to call it straight away, don't call it, because it makes no sense that way. Otherwise,
you know, I'll tell you what, right? You know what I don't get about it? It's like when it's offside. Yeah, it's offside, but the same team still got it, and they keep playing on till the ball goes out of play or the opposition gets it. Surely you could use that as a time wasting thing. Just
maybe.
keep the ball. Just keep the ball. And until they get it, it's not the game's not going to stop. I think it's stupid, and I think it basically just makes it easier for linesmen and refs not to do their jobs properly. Just call it when you see it.
You tell me a time recently where they have done their jobs properly.
I know that's what I'm saying, but it's like the game used to be so simple. It's a simple fucking game. Stop trying to make it complex.
That's why VAR's ruined it, because back in the day, when the referees made the decision, even if you hated it, it was final. That was it. Move on. You had to get on with it. Nowadays, like with the Arsenal and the Liverpool games, like with Spurs and Newcastle respectively, you cry, 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 but in the end, it don't change anything.
Well, I mean, like again, one of Cloughie's biggest things was the players don't surround the ref.
Discipline.
He was massive on that, wasn't he?
That's another thing I think that maybe a lot of managers nowadays have forgotten in the modern era in terms of Cloughie was all about the fair play and the ball, we keep it on the floor, lads. That's where you play with it.
Exactly. Yeah. If it was meant to be in the air, football would be on the clouds.
Yeah, because unfortunately, but Cloughie had an idea. He had his ideal vision of play, sort of like how Pep does. But Pep's not afraid to be dark, though. He's not afraid to be dirty.
No.
Like he said about Don Revie, I have a different style of football to Don. I believe it could be played slightly different and maybe get slightly better results, unquote.
100%.
So, yeah, it just depends, man. It's substance over style or, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Like spot on. like spot on says. Like Drew says, spot on, Wolf. Moaning and complaining doesn't change the results. Exactly. I don't see the point. And I also don't see the point when a ref rips you off and then turns around to you after the game and goes, yeah, I got that wrong. Sorry.
Well, you want to see a travesty? You want to see a travesty of football? I'll tell anyone this, and this is as a Chelsea fan, and it's always painful thinking of this. Go watch Chelsea Barcelona 2009 at Stamford Bridge when they should have had about 3 red cards. We should have had about 4 penalties, and we didn't even barely get one.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. If you don't have it, people will be calling for it. And when you do have it and it doesn't work properly, people will still. You're gonna lose one way or the other because there's always gonna be a flaw. We wouldn't.
I mean, I'll tell you. I'll be honest. One of the things I really do love, one of the new rules I really do love, because I think it gives comedy value, and that's when a player asks for a yellow card and then the ref gives them one.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely hilarious. When Arteta did it, that's a yellow. And the ref walked over and he went, "Yeah, then."
Well, the thing is, it goes back to what you were just now saying about surrounding the referees. The thing is, okay, let me give you a basic example, right? And this will tell you how football's changed. The Newcastle Arsenal goal, right? There are 3 Newcastle players in that box. There are 7 Arsenal players. If they score a goal, right, in that sort of circumstance, do you think George Graham, Brian Clough, or Jose Mourinho are going to go straight to the officials or their own defenders?
Well, they're going to go to their defenders because you don't stop playing until the whistle goes.
Thank you. Yeti, bang on. That is the first, and I'll tell you, I've done a bit of coaching myself. That is the first thing they teach 5-year-olds even.
Yeah.
You play to the whistle. If I don't hear a whistle, I'm running.
Yeah.
That's simple. 100%. And the thing is, the fact that everyone, and that's like you said about the yellow cards. If the whistle's not been blown, it doesn't matter if it's gone out or not. You fucking tackle him. Excuse my French.
Yeah, of course you do. You don't stop.
And that's what annoys me about modern players. They think they can dictate how the game goes because they get paid a lot of money. So when you said, give a yellow card. All right, then here's your yellow card. You've been yellow carded. Good on you. Serves you right. That's unprofessional for a start.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Why are you trying to get another player? Okay, I can appreciate the competitiveness, But it depends how you go from we'll win by any means necessary to how Cloughie was, we'll beat you 11-11 and you'll show you that we're better than you.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're a school of.
Definitely. I mean, that to me, that's the prime directive of football. Really, you don't stop playing until it's same as when a defender thinks it's offside and they all just stand there with their hands in
Arms
the air.
up. Yeah, I
It's
know.
just ridiculous, man. If I was a manager, I would be going mental at the players. And that goal from Newcastle, because me and Mama was on about it the other day, because everybody's saying, "Oh, Newcastle are cheats." What did you expect Newcastle to do? Did you expect Newcastle to go to the ref and go, "You know what, ref? It was actually
No,
out. Don't give us that
they
goal."
weren't
As
cheat.
if anybody's going to do that. It's down to the officials making the decision. It's got nothing to do with Newcastle.
Well, the thing is, I would just say from Newcastle's point of view, realistically, other than maybe you could argue the tap on the back from Gabriel
No,
Magalhaes for Longstaff.
I didn't think that was a foul.
Neither did I. But realistically, the rest of it, what's Newcastle's fault? They don't
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Newcastle don't play whistles. They don't call the decisions, and they don't
Yeah,
tell you when to start and stop playing.
exactly,
How's it Newcastle's
100%.
fault?
Yeah,
Again,
yeah,
if you were playing FM and you had a Football Manager or FIFA, and you saw
mm,
exactly the same thing on FIFA, you'd be like, "Shit, I could have done better than that. What's my team doing?"
yeah, exactly,
So
exactly.
if you wouldn't apply it to yourself, why apply it to everybody else?
Yeah, it's just well, I mean that's the way things are nowadays, isn't it? It's always somebody else's fault. Um, Liverpool Brentford then. So I mean, I think this one's going to be a good one. I think this is probably going to be a game of the weekend, to be honest. I'm going to go 4-3 to Liverpool.
Fair enough. It might be. I think Brentford are a bit better defensively. I was gonna go maybe say 2-1 to Liverpool.
Yeah.
2-1. Maybe you know what the thing is. I can see the logic in like the sense in because Liverpool ain't great at the back. But the thing is, Brentford, although they are good at hustling and bustling, like when they beat us 2-0 a couple of weeks ago, they're not really a flying out forward. Again, if Liverpool turn up, they'll smash Brentford.
Yeah, definitely.
Take it easy, Drew. Yeah, but I'll go 2-1. Take it easy,
Yeah,
Drew.
take it easy, Drew, mate. Yeah, 3-1. I mean, I think it's going to be a good one, to be honest. I think Brentford are a decent team. I think Brentford are probably a more complete team than Liverpool are, to be fair.
That's what I said, but
So
they
it's
can
going to be
defend.
an interesting one. It is really going to be interesting.
You know what? If they had all their tools, I would say Brentford might have had a chance of winning. But the fact that they're starting to jumble a bit as well. They are good defensively, but not always great going forward.
Yeah, true, very true. I mean, if you watch that one against West Ham, I mean, some of the moves they did was amazing. And then Burmo, why he didn't get an hat trick, I don't know. I mean, there's one shot that was just it would have been a worldie, man, if he'd have got it, and it was absolutely beautiful. And he's a damn good player as well. And to be fair, I mean, they lost Tony, and they're not doing too bad, to be honest.
Yeah, they're not doing. And the thing is, there's a good chance he'll never play for the club again because when January opens,
No.
there's a good chance he'll just get sold and they'll just spend the money.
Oh yeah. Where would you say he's going? Arsenal, Spurs, or Chelsea?
Well, realistically, if I was Ivan Tony, I'll eliminate Spurs because Spurs, okay, all right, they're a rising project, but I think their season's just about to implode. So
I agree.
and I'm not being funny. Even if they weren't, with the history in mind, if you're looking to win trophies and you're Ivan Tony, you're not thinking Spurs anyway.
Yeah.
Right, it's either Arsenal or Chelsea. I'd probably, you know what? I'm not being disrespectful to Arsenal. If I was Ivan Tony, I would just go by that same logic as well. I'd go to Chelsea because out of the three teams, we're most likely to win trophies.
Yeah, and looking at managers as well.
Well, I'm not being funny.
I'll be honest with you. I think I'd be looking at Tottenham because of the way Ange Postecoglou plays and the fact that you're going to get the ball a lot.
Yeah, but then did you drop Son then?
Well, yeah, no, but I mean that's it. I mean, Son goes to the left, I suppose, and then it's Brennan Johnson that's sitting down. But then again, he knows that's going to be the case anyway. But I would do that and just ditch Richarlison and have Ivan Tony.
True, but the thing is, I don't know if Spurs can afford. I don't even know if Arsenal can afford him, to be honest.
I mean, I think he should just come to Forest and fuck you lot.
Well, bro, some of the fans, fair enough, but some of the fans would just simply say, "Well, what about Usherman?" I'm like, oh dear, what about Usherman? Yeah, but yeah,
Who knows? Who knows what's
yeah,
going to happen?
it's
Really,
so, you know what it is. Football's so funny nowadays.
of
When
course
it
it
comes
is.
when it comes to
Liverpool could even come in.
that's what I'm saying. Like they still
You know what I
because
mean?
they got 110 million still stashed away in the bank that they
Yeah,
never spent.
exactly.
But the thing
Although I
is
think they need defence.
yeah,
Personally, I think
that's
their
what I was
attack's
just
good
about to
enough.
say.
But...
Unless they will have to have maybe an injury to Giotta or not Darwin, I don't really think they need to. I think attacking wise, Newcastle is set. They, like you said, defence.
Yeah.
Centre back.
Right. Well, West Ham, Forest. Actually, no. Carry on talking about whatever, because I'm going to get a can.
All right. Well, yeah. Liverpool, soft at the back. Brentford, good tactically. You know, they know how to handle themselves. I still think, I don't know, man. That's still an awkward one to call. But West Ham, Forest, though. Ooh, that's a difficult one. West Ham have been flying out a little bit off the fact that they beat Arsenal the other day. Forest, it depends if it 1 year. Sagari and all them lot are fit. That's a very interesting question. I think he's gonna hate me actually, but I can see West Ham winning that game 2-1. Actually, guys in the channel hopping between here and Jez. Yeah. Don't worry, motherfucker. I'm not gonna be. Well, I can't be in here much longer because my food's just arrived. So I'm gonna go and eat as well because we're delivering. So yeah, but yeah, I know Fuzzy's gonna hate me, but I can't. Fuzzy, yeah, he's gonna hate me, but I can't see past the West Ham win, to be honest, or maybe a draw. Forest, I've got some good players, but they got. I don't know. Is a 1 year fit? It all depends if a 1 year's back. Let me ask the Yeti man himself when he comes back and see what it's all about. I'm not even sure who's fit for Forest. Let me check. Forest injuries. We didn't hear that, everybody.
No, nobody heard that. Damn. Every stream, at least once.
No.
Yeah, you know what my brother bought me?
No. That's nice.
Perfect, mate.
Is a 1 year
Absolutely
fit?
perfect.
Is a 1 year fit yet?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, he's fine.
Oh! And you got Sakari and all them lot?
Yeah.
Ooh, that does change it up.
As far as I know, we've got no major injuries. So
that does make a difference.
Absolutely, and if we can keep playing like we did on Sunday, then I think we're in for a good time at the minute. But it kind of just depends. But if we can keep playing like we did on Sunday, I mean, I don't know what you felt watching that game, but I felt like pieces had come together.
Yeah. I told you this because
you know what I mean.
Me and your teams were exactly in the same position. We've had such a massive influx of players. You just have to wait for them to gel and get used to each other and all that kind of thing. Same thing with us, with our forms picked up. We've had like against Spurs and we had that draw against us steadily. It's just getting better.
Yeah.
It's not like how like City will whoops, like, you know what I mean? It's just a growing process.
It's a building thing, isn't it? And like I say, on Sunday, I thought we was phenomenal to a man, to be honest. I thought Sangari had his best game I've seen him have yet. Mangala, again, he's just getting better and better. Dominguez is just fitting easy as you like. Alanga's just class. You know, it just is. I mean, it's unfortunate we lost Hudson-Odoi because I don't know how long he's out, but he's out for a fair while, I believe.
Now you know what I've been going through for about 8 years with him. You know what I mean?
See, now I know you ripped us off for 15 million, 3.5 million.
No, we didn't rip you off, but he's one of those ones. When he plays, he's good. When he's not, he's not. But
yeah.
But
it is what it is, mate.
But West Ham, they are a sticky team to play, man. They like to
get
amongst you.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll maybe go 1-1 draw.
You got 1-1 draw.
Yeah, because you're scrap and you are away. You are away. But West Ham.
I'm gonna go 3-2 Forest.
Fair enough.
Mama Flossie says, guys, I'm channel hopping between here and Jez. No worries. I didn't even know Jez was on, to be honest with you. But yeah, fair play. Thanks for being in here anyway. Always respect to everybody that watches my channel and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm going 3-2. I think it's going to be a good game, that one.
Yeah, so do I.
And then, do you want to take that?
Yeah, what's that?
Chelsea, Manchester City at Stamford Bridge. So that's going to be an interesting one for Chelsea, having just beat Tottenham 4-1.
Yeah, it is. One second, my door's got. That was one of my mates telling me he's outside. So 1 second.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, no problem. I'll carry on. So basically, Chelsea, Manchester City. This one could be a bad one for Chelsea, to be honest. But we'll see, because I mean they built something against Spurs, so maybe they can move on. But I think City will have a bit too much for them, to be fair. I think I'm gonna go 3-1, to be honest, to City, because I think City are just going to have that bit too much for them. And Doku's starting to play really well at the moment. Bernardo Silva scored a cracking goal at the weekend, and they're just a different animal. And Haaland hasn't even got started yet. He's not really started yet, so I think this is going to be a long day for Chelsea, to be quite honest with you. But we'll get Wolf's opinion on what he thinks. But I think it's going to be a long day for Chelsea. What do you think, mate? I think a long day for Chelsea. I think 3-1 City.
What, at Stamford Bridge?
Yeah.
Well,
what do you reckon?
No. Our performance against big teams is normally all right.
Yeah.
When we were against Spurs, Arsenal, Liverpool, yeah, we were losing at times, but we were never out of it.
Yeah. It's a massive test, isn't it?
It is. And it's one of those ones where we go back into the Newcastle, Spurs, Chelsea conversation of this is the run that tests you and defines you. So, yeah, exactly the same questions that have to be asked of Spurs of Newcastle, and the same questions that has to be asked of us as well. Are you good enough to maintain a run? Can you beat City? Sorry, I'll go with Chelsea up 2-1.
Yeah, well, I mean, fair play, man. Stick with your boys. But I mean, the thing is, the reason I say 3-1 City is because at times, even with 9 men, Spurs did get through you.
Yeah, hopefully Levy Colwell won't play, and we'll play how we against Arsenal with Cucurella at left back. And we'll be a bit more stable, because I hate because when you actually look at that Spurs, they didn't actually score against us. That's a Levy Colwell on goal. And it bounces off his back, and you can't tell me the shot was on target, because if it comes off his back.
Oh no, well that's it, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, Haaland for me hasn't got started yet. So I mean, they are quite a scary proposition. And Doku last weekend was awesome.
Yeah, but they're missing De Bruyne.
Yeah, they do miss De Bruyne.
That's the big that if he was playing, I'd be a lot more scared, because he has a tendency to turn up against us.
True.
Maybe that ex-team hate, who knows?
But Rodri as well. I mean, Rodri's different class. The way he mops up and makes things happen and gets in positions to, try and get a goal and all that kind of stuff. You can see why they missed him when he weren't there.
On another angle, Poch has got a good record against City.
Yeah,
come out of the Champions League a couple of seasons ago when they got to the finals. So, but he likes to counter press Pep. So
it will be a massive result if you did manage to beat him.
I'll tell you what, mate. I'll be doing, even with my bad shoulder, mate. If we could get Spurs and City and beat both of them in a week.
Yeah, 100%.
I won't say we're back, but we're on the way.
Yeah, definitely. definitely. Anyway, we're gonna cut it short now because that's all the games for the weekend.
Hmm.
Hopefully, we have a great weekend of football like we did last weekend. Finished off with that Monday game, which is honestly one of the best
It was,
derbies I've
yeah.
seen on TV.
It was
All
one of
it
the
needed was
best
Keane
matches.
and Vieira, to be honest.
Yeah, one of the best matches to watch for a long time, particularly for a neutral, because
Mm.
it had a bit of everything,
Oh, it was class,
and it was
absolute class.
feisty. You know how you said about
Yeah,
you know how you said
just
about
what you want to see, really.
yeah, in a derby game, about when you said a
Mm.
derby, because you said that the other day when
Mm.
it'll be the same thing if you guys were to play Derby County. Try
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
get feisty, get stuck in, but keep your heads. Don't
Mm.
do what Spurs did. Don't completely melt down.
Oh no, that was an absolute meltdown, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, back in the day, would that have been? Would that have gone like that? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm
Uh,
not saying would you have won. I'm just saying would they have got sent off? I
well,
don't know.
it depends how far you want to go back, because I'm not being funny. If you go back anything less than 10, 15 years ago, or if you go back beyond that, it's 3-point
Mm.
lane. We
Well, exactly. Well, yeah, true. Yeah,
we
yeah.
actually
Good
used to
point.
brush them
Yeah,
up
yeah.
at the
Good
White Hart
point.
Lane quite often. So
Mm.
like, to be
Good
honest,
point.
we slapped them.
I was thinking more on the tackles because I mean, back in the day, you could do a canton or kick in someone's
No,
head
no,
and
no.
still
They're
stay
more
on the
measured. No,
pitch.
no, 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 no. Unfortunately, I think we can all agree, like, tackling like that nowadays is a lost art with very few players
Mm.
that can actually do it properly.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely. If you
I've
make
seen,
one mistake in a tackle, that's it.
yeah.
Unless you're Kai Havertz,
Oh dear.
you know.
We go from a Dogi to Kai Havertz. Nah.
I think everybody's feeling sorry for Havertz. So I mean, you don't really want to play against him because I think he can do whatever he wants to you.
Well,
Because everybody's feeling
well,
sorry for
you
you.
don't really want to play against him, but if you're players like Arsenal don't see you want to play with him either.
No, well,
Um,
that is true.
I still think it's funny that Declan Rice actually avoids passing to him.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, I tell you what, we'll just start. We'll go on to that before we finish, right? Um, do you think that the players are turning
what on Havertz?
on
Or
Arteta?
no, I just think Arteta's real management's coming out.
Mm.
Because one thing about it is, and I'll stress this again, when they were doing it last season with no Europe, it's pretty much how Spurs are going through it now. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
easy to focus on one thing and do it. But now you've got this, and this, and by the way, Arsenal fans have expectation this year compared to how they did last year. Because
True, true.
last year it was a surprise they were in a title race. This year they've
Mm.
got to win it, or they expect to at least repeat it.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing
Definitely.
is with Arsenal is the same. Right, this is what I don't understand about Arsenal. When Arsenal started this season, it was going to be, Saliba, Timber, Ben White, Gabriel
Mm.
Magalhaes, Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Jesus, and maybe Trossard or Martinelli, whoever.
That is it. That is a team as well.
Right.
That is.
Why can't they get that team on the pitch?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Okay. Now they're talking about selling. Right, at the beginning of the season, they were talking about selling him. When the season started, he was a great player, and now they're talking about selling him again
Mm.
when injured.
That makes no sense.
sense.
He's obviously fell out with Arteta, and he's like that's it.
I don't think Arteta's lost the squad, but I think he's losing the fans.
Yeah. Yeah, well, not some of them. I mean, some of them are lick up his shit after he had a shit in the
Well,
street. To be
no.
fair,
Okay,
but
when I say fans, I mean real fans, not
yeah,
Arsenal
yeah,
fans.
yeah.
Real
I think
fans.
that, yeah, I think that's how we need to call it. Really, the real fans, not the bloody idiots. Fucking the 80% idiots, basically, which is a shame because Arsenal's always been a big team. And the way these fans look at it now is just ridiculous. You
Well,
can tell that they don't know anything about the history. I mean, I said the other day, right? What do you think of this, right? If I was, I mean, I can't. I mean, I've got about £1.50, and I don't think I'm going to buy them for that. But if I was to take charge of Arsenal, the first thing I would do is I'd build a George Graham statue, and I'd put it in front of the Wenger one, 100%. I'd also add the Invincibles scores and everything. That'd be on the front of the building, not on a shirt.
I hear what you're
I mean,
saying.
you're a Chelsea fan, so you might see it a little bit
No,
different.
no, no, no. I hear what you're saying about actually represent it properly and give it what it deserves.
Mm.
But like
Load up the history.
like
Load up the
that,
history.
no, but that's the problem. That's the problem. The culture at Arsenal shifted a lot
Mm.
because, like you
That
said,
was the plan, wasn't it?
like you said, like yeah, that's with we're supposed to be competing with Bayern Munich when they come out of Highbury. But the thing is,
Highbury.
I actually think when you look at George Graham, he's up there with Wenger, if not as good. Because don't forget, remember, George Graham was only one game away, and that was against us, ironically, from doing his own unbeaten run, doing his own invincibles, and he did a cup double as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let me ask you a question: who would you take, George Graham or Arsene Wenger?
George Graham, 100%.
Right. You know why you say that is because for the first, when you saw a 5-year,
Well, I didn't want to say knock down the Arsene Wenger
I just put it in front
statue
of it.
because he did win stuff and he did win and
Yeah,
things.
well,
It
that's
was
Arsene Wenger.
just at the end.
Well, that was Arsene Wenger the first 10 years compared to the second
Mm.
Arsene Wenger 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a debate in itself. But then again, actually, when you think about it, considering he still kept them winning trophies and kept them around the top 6, and you look at what Arteta's doing now. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you've already said, you already knocked the nail on the head with the culture thing. I mean, because as soon as Arteta came in, they changed the culture. All these Bell End fans got behind it and stuff. I mean, and the biggest turning point for me, I don't know what you think, but the biggest turning point for me was Xhaka telling all the fans to fuck off and chucking the captain's badge and the
then get
shirt on the
welcomed back
floor,
with love and dove. Yeah.
and then gets welcomed back. I
Yeah.
mean, come on, man.
Nah.
Would you have done that? Would you let that happen at Chelsea?
Nah, dude. Like, come on, we're talking. If that was hybrid days, the pitch is getting invaded and someone's punching.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We would have never had that.
Well, no, because I don't even want to think about what Stuart Pearce or someone on the pitch would have done if you chucked the armband down in front of him. He probably
he got battered. He got battered on the pitch.
Yeah, he would have probably booted you himself.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
you know,
yeah, they didn't call him.
Crawford would have punched you like he did them fans when they ran on the pitch. Well, he slapped him really, but
well, yeah, he gives him. Well, don't go. He gave him. You know what? Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because
brilliant that was.
Because you know the funny thing is, I was watching the video when the two guys he hit when he brings them back and he tells them to give him a kiss and they both give him a kiss.
Yeah, I know. That's just that charisma, man. That guy's got. Absolutely amazing. Right. Anyway, we've been going nearly 2 hours. If you want to shout your stuff out, matey, make sure you follow Wolf.
Yeah, Wolfgang Division. Obviously, I'm going to have Brother Yeti on Sunday. I hope. Because he was obviously at the last Spurs watch along, and hopefully he had a good time. So hopefully he'll be down for that.
I was a bit hungover, to be honest. It took me a bit to get into it.
Well, when you got going, you were going. So
yeah, that's me, isn't it? That's
cooking. When you started cooking, you were cooking. Like cooking, as Tony would say.
Yeah,
exactly.
But
yeah, so yeah. Hopefully you'll catch it, the Yeti Man, if he's not hungover there on Sunday about 4.
Let's shout your stuff out, not mine.
Yeah. Oh, come on, you're part of my stuff.
Yeah,
you're a part of me.
Yeah.
I love you, Grace. Sorry. Yeah.
Just before, mate, AFC always says George Graham would have shown Xhaka the door by disrespecting the armband and telling the fans to fuck off. 100%.
100%.
Our fans would have been on the pitch punching his head in.
Yeah, can you imagine if he did that in front of Tony Adams?
He's
having him against the wall in the changing room. You disrespected my club. Oh no, man. Adams.
Imagine if we were playing for Man United and he did that, and Keane's there.
Keane probably trying
to oh my days!
People think I killed about 2 people a week.
Yeah, that would have been mental. Even if Vieira was there as well.
Yeah, Vieira or Henry. Henry. Don't get me wrong. He may not have been like Henry would fuck a guy up if he had a chance.
100%.
Don't mess about with Thierry. Thierry was a G, mate. Or Gilberto Silva, for example. He would have left that hefty tackle on one or two of these lads if they tried running that shit at Arsenal at that point, especially if they were trying to do their unbeaten run. It's where Eddie got a bloated head from, you see.
Yeah, exactly.
Never mind.
So, shout your channel out, mate.
Yeah, Wolfgang Division. Yeah, you can catch me on there, and you can catch like me on the rest of the boys on the watch along for Chelsea City on Sunday. So check me out.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. Thanks, everybody, for being in here. This is the third episode of View from the Cave. It's basically just giving opinions. If you don't like it, whatever. I don't really care, to be honest. You choose to
F off
watch.
down
You
the
choose to
derby.
watch. Yeah, exactly. F off down the A52. Or is it up the A52 or down? I don't know. But yeah.
Either way,
Anyway,
get out of my club.
yeah. Get out of my pub.
Oh yeah.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna end it here. So like I say, thanks to everybody who's been in here. Cheers to you, Wolf, as well, and Opfuzz earlier on. Always love, always respect. And just one final thing. Me and we did a stream with Arsenal history and more. Make sure you check out that stream. Where we basically talked about bullying and having issues and things and needing someone to talk to. This channel is always open for that if you have any issues or you need someone to talk to or anything like that. So, it's always welcome, man. I am actually quite a good psychologist, or is that psycho? I'm not sure. I'll have to work that one out. But, right, anyway, guys, take it easy. We are out.